Hi everyone, welcome to another webisode of The Good Doctor on eZeLiving.com. Today I'm in the company of Dr. Humaira Badsha, and we're going to be talking about vitamin D deficiency. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
So we're living in a sunny environment where the temperatures are high, sun is shining 24/7, 12 months out of the year, but yet we can be vitamin D deficient. How does that happen?
How much time are you actually spending out there in the sun and not in this office here? So most people who are in sunny Dubai aren't really spending time out in the sun, and the average sun exposure is very, very low. Add to that other cultural practices in the Middle East, such as a lot of people who live here do not actually wish to expose themselves to the sun. They wear long clothes, they cover themselves up pretty much. Sure. And culturally, many cultures here do not like getting a tan. They prefer lighter skin, so nobody's out there getting a tan. So sun exposure is actually very limited here.
When we talk about getting sun exposure, because the flip side of that is the cancer side,
right.
You know, getting radiation and all that stuff. So how much sun a day should people get that would be good for developing vitamin D in their body?
Well, actually, this is a very complicated question. In the past, people used to just say 15 to 20 minutes is adequate, but that's actually for Caucasian skin. The lighter your skin, the faster it can absorb. But people who have darker or pigmented skin, we actually have natural sunscreen. So it's blocking the sunlight or the UV light out. Yeah. And hence it takes longer for you to absorb what you need. So vitamin D is actually present in our skin in an inactivated form, and when the ultraviolet light hits our skin, it gets activated. So your body will only activate how much you need. Now, a darker skinned person may need even an hour of direct sun exposure a day, whereas a lighter person may need less sun exposure per day.
So depending on your pigmentation, if you're lighter skin, you'll need less exposure, darker skin, you'll need more exposure.
Right.
There is no standard quantified timeline
right.
that people need to spend out in the sun.
And people ask, should it be early morning, midday? Yeah. It just needs direct sunlight without cloud cover, without smog, not a dusty day, you know, where the sun can directly hit your skin. Right. That's all it needs.
And people don't know that. I mean, I just learned this, that vitamin D is in your body. What the sun does, it just activates it, triggers it off.
Right. Exactly.
Right. Okay, so we talked about the natural sources of ways of getting vitamin D. What about other means, for example, vitamins and vitamin D pills and etc.?
Yeah. So from food, let's talk about food. Food is not a great source of vitamin D because it's already in your body and it just needs the activation from the sun. But there are certain foods which can give you some vitamin D, which is fish especially, and you've heard of fish oils. So there are supplements, cod liver oil, fish oil. These are rich in vitamin D, and the daily requirement is actually between 1,000 to 2,000 IU per day, international units per day. In the old days, we used to think it was 400 IU, and we progressively kept increasing the daily requirement till we now find that people actually need more vitamin D, and there's still more and more understanding going into this.
So we now know about how to get vitamin D through the sun, through supplements. Now the question is, why do we need vitamin D?
Vitamin D is so important for so many functions in your body. The most important, of course, is helping us absorb calcium from our gut and putting it into your bones. So bone and muscle functioning is really, really important and dependent on vitamin D. So we have older people especially who get vitamin D deficient, and they have really bad muscle weakness where they can't even get out of a chair. We have here in Dubai, we've seen people who have multiple kids and do not know that they're vitamin D deficient, and young women cannot get out of a chair because their muscles are so weak. But besides your skeletal muscle and bone, it's also important for your heart. Your heart has muscle. Cardiac muscle needs vitamin D to function and pump. Your intestines need vitamin D. It also is very important for cancer prevention. It regulates your immune system. Do you remember in the old days, people with tuberculosis would sit out in the sun in a sanitarium in Switzerland? Well, vitamin D, that was ultraviolet light. Vitamin D, now we see that it can even control the Mycobacterium tuberculosis bacteria. So it has a lot of effects beyond bone and muscle health, and that's why people have been pushing. There's been a big study in the United States which shows that vitamin D decreases the chances of death or decreases mortality. That's huge.
So there we go. We just found out the importance of vitamin D and how it plays a role in our body, in our skeletal development, as well as muscle development. If you've got any thoughts, comments, or questions about this webisode, please leave them in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching The Good Doctor on eZeLiving.com, where you can find anything and everything lifestyle.